Hello, everyone. This sigh was because I hope you don't have to hear my children screaming in the background. My name is Rafael, and I'm hosting this live stream today because usually there is a live stream that I like to watch and attend, but unfortunately, it's not possible to do that because they decided probably to do it given the time of year and people wanting to be with their families around this time. Fortunately for me, I do not celebrate Christmas, therefore, I have all the time in the world available to make these sort of rash decisions. This is a bit unplanned and unprompted, but hopefully it can be helpful for everyone watching and such. So the title of this stream today is a bit different than what I usually do. Usually I just go about talking about guitars, gear, that sort of thing. But today I'm here mentioning about open mics and the um, how can I say, the thumbnail and everything is about this open mic at the Leighton Institute. And you might be wondering, where is the Leighton Institute? And let me tell you, the Leighton Institute is a fine establishment here in Blackpool that has two big rooms, one function room, let's say, with a huge stage with LED background. It's like crazy good. And another one a little more downstairs that's slightly smaller, where is, if it goes forward, if it doesn't, nothing happens between now and then, um, is where we're going to be doing the open mic. The poster mentions the Coherence, which is a young band from Blackpool. I've seen them from the beginning. Last year, we started around the same time, sort of playing out, and they've made amazing progress. You know, they have the difficulties that all bands have of members in and out, but it's par for the course. Um, and they're going to be hosting, to the sense that they're going to be there and they're going to be playing at around 9 the original songs, and it's all very exciting, and Hayden is going to be helping me do the audio and everything. So open mics, right? Open mics are a bit tricky because they can either be this really arty thing that musicians, singers, guitarists, bands go to do their thing, or the thing that brings all the drunks to the yard and people just want to do karaoke to backing tracks. In my experience, it's often both. So in the same evening, you can have people that have prepared and have spent time practicing to get there and to do their thing, regardless of how experienced they are. And there's the random guys and gals that are at the bar and see people singing and want to give it a shot. And I've come to appreciate that there is nothing wrong with that. Music is to be enjoyed, is not to be a test or an exam or, a sport of performance. Obviously, if someone has practice and has the goal of becoming a musician, is going to try to perform differently. But I've also, on the other hand, seen amazingly talented people that just want to have fun and don't want to have to worry about preparing a whole set list and contacting venues and doing bookings and all that sort of stuff. So it sort of has its own sort of value. Uh, Here in Blackpool, we have open mics in many different places. So the two bigger ones are the one at the Waterloo Music Bar, which is voted the best rock venue in the country, I believe. It's this really awesome place that has amazing decoration, an awesome stage with an incredible sound PA and sound engineer Paul, that although being a bit serious, is always on the ball. And bless him, on nights that we do the open mics there, have loads of work. It's like running a mini festival, 3 hours, sometimes over 20 acts of people putting things in and out, different bands with their own gear, and it's a bit crazy. We have the Bootleg as well, an amazing grassroots venue that has part of the BBC introducing um, circuit and has had bands that have been found out, amazing musicians that come back, like John Gom, for example, the acoustic guitarist. On the other hand, they had Wet Leg and a bunch of them. I saw Hazy Janes, Heavy North, and then some local bands like Fat Man's Corner or Circus or I've seen also at the open mic, to be honest, Jesse, um, I completely forgot what's the name. Oh dear, Bliss, um, Cadaver Beach. So a bunch of different bands that have are there, and the um, and the thing is, it's a proper venue again, proper PA, proper sound guy. Uh, so it's really cool. Even just opportunity to have an open mic that you can go and play there. Like if you are a band, if there are bands around Blackpool and you want to test your sound live, that's a place to go. Is it going to be exactly like a gig? No, because you might not be able to set up all your gear and everything, but you get at least the idea of what it is to be on that stage. Then we have the ones at Brew Room, which is in town, the Marvin's Bars, the one in Polton, and another one in town. This one at the Latin Institute, which is its own thing that it's only been a couple of times, and this it's going to be the biggest growing one I think for next year because it has a lot of potential in terms of location, a lot of space in terms of accessibility for bands and for artists of all sorts. And I think that's pretty much it. So, and then obviously there's the Galleon every Sunday and every Monday, which is another place that has great decorations and music memorabilia, and it has its own vibe going on. And then there's the alley that Lee and Katie, that now is no longer with us. She didn't die. She just went to Scotland. She's going to Scotland. From To the Crowd, they host at the alley. Suzanne and the other guy that I forget the name. Hey Vinny, how's it going? Do the open mic at the Ashton Gardens that has always great attendance, and it is more suited for the inhabitants of St. Lytham St. Anne's, and sometimes it's an older crowd, but really musical as well. So there's lots of things going on. Tell me, Vinny, are there many open mics where you live? Where do you live as well? Uh, just curious how people do things on the other side of the pond. Everything's going great. I just saw that the Studio Rats didn't do the stream tonight, and I was hoping to hop on their live stream, but since they didn't do it, I just decided myself to come on and talk a bit about open mics, which is something that I do. I host and I participate, and I think it's good to keep the music scene alive and well. Florida. Are there many open mics in Florida, or at least like well organized, good open mics that is safe for people to go? Um, that's something that we've been working on. That was never really an issue, but for example, the one that we do at the Marvins in Polton has really become a hub for people that want to perform in a more intimate environment that is safe for everyone to, participate. Um, and there's that. So if anyone has any questions regarding or want to share their experience regarding watching open mics, that would be great. Um, it's a tricky thing because if no one shows up and you're hosting, and like myself, if you sing, then it becomes a 2-hour gig that is not paid as a 2-hour gig. Yeah, just a bit tricky, but Vinny mentions that it's not much of his thing anymore, but there must be some in Tampa. In Tampa, there are some great bars from what I hear, and music venues, isn't it? Tampa, Florida. It's tricky because, for example, I've often thought about how instrumentalists, and especially instrumentalists that are not guitarists. So, for example, if you play the drums or the bass or something like that, an open mic is not really the place that where you are able to shine. I've seen people put backing tracks on and just play along to them, which is fair. You're entitled to do that. It's just maybe not as exciting. Maybe a jam night will be more their jam. There is a jam night always on Thursdays. Sorry, in St. Anne's at the Urban Arts. So it's sorry. There's a few jam nights at Urban Art Studios in St. Anne's where they have their own drum kit and you can bring your amps and such and do a bit of a jam, just an open-ended jam. I know that at the Galleon they often do jams, but I always feel a bit awkward about doing jams because it's like, what do I play? What do they play? What does everyone play? But On the other hand, the few times that I have done it, I've always come around thinking that was really fun. So maybe there is something to be said about that. I'm going to do the reason why as well I went online is because I wanted to talk a few things about guitar. So if you're here for the open night discussion, it's been 10 minutes. I'm going to give it a bit more time. But at the meantime, it's I wanted to look at JHS, but not JHS, the pedal brand, JHS, um, the distributor, the UK distributor of guitars, because they have so many brands, so many brands, and they announced a few things that I think are cool. So if I move this scene, you'll be able to see what I'm seeing on the screen. Okay, so let's start with brands. So as you can see, a few things: Art and Luthery. So this is the Godin group, right? Blue or Blue guitar amps, then Electro, Encore is like the cheaper guitars, and there's things here that I don't even know because they're just not in my realm of things. Floyd Rose Certified, Fred King, the guitars that I'm often talking about. Godin, this is new. I don't think it was here. Grover, Joe Doe is those special vintage guitars. Custom, Kingsman, Lace. Nothing here, but you get Rapier, Seagull, Snark. The Beatles and the Blues and the Busker and the Cavern are all things. A lot of them are in Liverpool actually. Then there's a Vintage Pro Shop, Wilkinson, and X5. So, like the Godin stuff is new. It wasn't here before, and they have some really cool guitars. Let's go back to the main website because I want to check this Fred King 2023 collection that I just saw here when I opened it. Oh wow, they went for the high retail prices here. So these bases, they say that they are new. I don't remember seeing them, but they're very similar to what Solo King offers in the base, which is a bit awkward, really, because if you have a look at it, you see, for 249, is it the same thing? Obviously not, but I think this is pretty sweet. Now, how is this brand that is not very well known going to compete with that? I'm not sure. Then I have the Fred King Elise, which is the semi-hollows, with and without tremolo. Okay, the Eclat, which is this Les Pauls, mini humbuckers, P90s. Then they have the Country Squire, which is the Telecaster sort of thing. All right, this is all pretty much the same. The Chrono Custom seems to be pretty much the same. Is the one that I have. The Music Hero is the one that I have as well. They say it's new, but it doesn't seem new to me. I can't even see that gold Les Paul. All right. Well, the kickbacks are 80 quid, so when you buy a guitar, you get the kickback. Oh no, this was very underwhelming. But now they have Godin. Godin make really good instruments. I've played a few, and they have really good necks. But the problem with these ones, even more than the Fred Kings, are the designs. Like the designs and the pictures. Like who looks at this and thinks, "Oh, this is so cool. This looks as standard gets for the same price as American Pro." It is true that it has different pickups, and I'm sure that the woods and the neck and everything feels amazing. But this I can get behind a bit more. Let's see the specs. Seymour Duncan Custom SH11P. Yeah, no. This is the thing about guitars that I don't understand is guitar photography, but that might be for another time. Very well. Let's see. That was pretty much it. I wanted to talk a little bit about the open mics, as I have this one coming up tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the Leighton Institute, and I have more January going to be closed for open mics as an Include Company sort of effort, which is the non-profit organization, let's call it, that we participate in, and therefore we're going to be doing more open mics February onwards. All right. If nothing else, I'll leave you with this bit of information. So a bit random, open mics, and then a look at the JHS John Hornby Skews website. And until next time, take care. All right. Cheers. Bye bye.